Responding to your baby's cues means learning to understand the messages your baby is sending you. Try not to feed your baby as a way to soothe, comfort, or stop all of his various cries. It's hard to do, but when your baby is full, listen and stop feeding.
Usually a baby before 12 months is very hungry. I mean, he triples his weight in 1 year, in that first year. He will never do that for the rest of his life. When a baby is not hungry or has had enough, usually he will shut his mouth, close his mouth, and turn his head. And that is a very clear signal. I mean, you can see that as a parent or as a caregiver. And you should never insist. You want milk products, you want cereal products, fruit and vegetable, and other protein-rich food. So you stick to a variety at every meal, and you stick to real meals, 3 real meals. That is part of a balanced diet.
I'm excited, I'm nervous. It's one of those things where it's like I know it'll be the first time that we'll ever be feeding our baby, and it'll be the only time they'll be the first.
Good eating habits in my mind is eating the healthy foods. So it's like, okay, parents should be eating these healthy foods and we should be introducing them slowly to the baby. Sticking to basic foods, whole grains, good fresh fruit and vegetables, no sweet desserts, no fried foods. It's not as easy to learn to eat fresh fish once you've had fish sticks.
Babies will try most foods the first time, but by the second time they'll remember and may close their mouths. You can introduce the new food at a later time, but maybe not the next day.
A breastfed baby is sharing food with his mother in a very passive way. But at the end of the first year, a baby starts to enjoy having his parents eat at the same time.
Breastfed babies should not be introduced to solid foods until 6 months of age. Bottle-fed infants can start solids between 4 to 6 months of age. However, even after introducing your baby to solid foods, you should always feed your baby milk first, then continue with the rest of the meal. This continues until the age of 6 months.
Solid foods, or another term that can be used, complementary, transitional, or weaning foods, are really foods that are anything other than breast or formula for the baby's first year of life.
The introduction of solids may help to diminish reflux or spitting up in some babies. Your baby is generally ready to begin solid foods when he asks to drink more often. He cries even after breastfeeding or finishing an entire bottle. He shows an interest in what you eat. There's an increase in the number of demand feedings for 3 days or more, and he still seems unsatisfied.
Anything that seems to show that the baby's growth pattern is diminishing in terms of weight for reasons that are difficult to explain may be a cue to start solid foods.
Babies are usually unable to accept solids before the age of 4 months. There are several reasons why. The baby does not have full control of her neck muscles and needs to be supported while sitting up. The baby does not have a fully developed immune system, which could increase the risk of developing food allergies. The baby is unable to produce an adequate amount of saliva or does not produce enough enzymes to digest food properly. The baby does not have enough coordination in his lips or tongue to accept food, and the baby has immature kidneys, which are unable to handle too much protein. Remember, there are no advantages to starting solid foods too early. Exclusive breastfeeding for the first 6 months can decrease the risk of gastrointestinal and respiratory infections in your baby.